it's time to break from that negative cycle. You stop doing things like how every other person does things. I will not operate under the crowd mentality, the mob mentality. I have come for an encounter. 1 Samuel chapter 8. As the mass choir, let's go. 1, 2, go. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after, and took, I can't hear you people. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. What did they ask for? Let's read that place again. What did they say? Now. Okay, let's read verse 5 together. 1, 2, go. And said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. How men walk in the will of God? Because right now we're talking about the will of God. These people were asking for something. God did it for them, but that's not what he wanted for them. So how do men walk in the will of God? Number one, by allowing God have his way. Doing things God's own way. Number one, that's how men walk in the will of God. Number two, okay, still under number one, learn to make God's way your way, and not your way God's way. Learn to make God's way your way, and not your way God's way. Let it be God that is the one that has created this way that you're following. Don't create a way and expect God to follow the way. So that's number one. Number two, being malleable in the hands of God. Malleability is flexibility, bendable, yielding in God's hands. Meaning that God can decide today, this is the way I want you to go, you go. And you know that I'm supposed to be going this way. And God says, you know what, just turn here. And you're willing to turn, not saying, oh God, but I thought you said it's this way I'm going. I will keep going that way. So there must be fluidity in your walk with God. The ability to allow God bend you is important. That is how men walk in the will of God. Intentionally seek God's face for direction. For everything you want to do. I use the word intentionally. Be intentional about asking God, what next? What next? How do I go about this? Number what now? 4. Discovering his will through his word. The word of God is one sure place that will help you understand God's will for your life. Now, number 5, pay close attention to what God is saying. God can be saying things, but you are not paying attention. You are not listening. Then the next one is walking in obedience. How do we walk in the will of God? Obedience is important. And I want to stop at this one. Trust. Finally, trust in the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul. Can you give the Lord a shout? What God cannot do. If you know that God has visited you, you'll be shouting louder than your neighbor.